Hi there, Chloe here. Now, before we start today's show, I wanted to warn you that there's only 1 week to go until the latest e-commerce masterplan virtual summit goes live. Have you registered yet? Well, it's free and it's focused on one of the biggest growth areas in e-commerce right now. So if you're not registered, what is your excuse? In this subscription e-commerce virtual summit, we're focused on what you need to know to launch and grow a successful subscription e-commerce operation, whether it's a brand new venture or an extension of your existing business. Speakers include some of the top subscription experts, including Stefan Pretty from Subly, Kirsten DaCosta from Churnbuster, Edward Upton from Little Data, Fiona Stevens from Loyalty Lion, and many more, including several you'll know from the podcast. Check out the lineup and register for your free pass at ecommercemasterplan.com/summit.
It's the e-commerce masterplan podcast, here to help you solve your marketing problems and grow your e-commerce business. Cutting through the hype to bring you inspiration and advice from the e-commerce sector and beyond. Here's your host, Chloe Thomas.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. It's just me today because there's a huge news story in e-commerce land at the moment. The separation, or the divorce even, of Mailchimp and Shopify, and a lot of confusion about what it means for you if you're currently using them together. I've seen some incredible responses that I very much wouldn't advise on social media. So I thought it was really important for me to give you my take on this and to give you some nice practical advice about what to do about it all. So I'm going to take you through what's happening and what you need to do about it. Even if you're not using Mailchimp with Shopify, I think you'll find this an interesting listen, as I'll be getting into why and how to change email marketing platform, which I know a lot of you are considering, plus a few automation starting point tips and some recommendations of platforms to take a look at if you're considering that move. Now, without the sponsors, the podcast wouldn't be possible, so please do take some time to check them out. This episode is brought to you by SendPro Online from Pitney Bowes. Save time and money no matter what you ship or mail with the SendPro Online software. Print shipping labels and stamps right from your desk and access discounted rates for as low as $4.99 per month. Try it free for 30 days and get a free £10 scale when you visit pb.com/masterplan. That's pb.com/masterplan. Your network is your net worth. You've heard it many times and it's true. If you're an Amazon seller and you want to grow your network, your business and your skills, then you need to be at this year's SellerCon. From June 21st to 23rd in Las Vegas, Nevada. Get the latest tips and strategies on what's working now for Amazon sellers. You'll also have a chance to hear from some of the best entrepreneurial minds and 6, 7, 8-figure sellers today, including John Mackey, Sarah Blakely, Robert Kiyosaki, Dave Asprey, Ezra Firestone, Ryan Moran, and many others. Visit sellercon.com and use coupon code MASTERPLAN to get an immediate 25% discount on your ticket. So Shopify and Mailchimp have fallen out. That's what's happened. And I had an email from a listener asking whose side should I take? Well, quite frankly, you don't need to take any side at all. You just need to work out what's right for your business. I'm not going to be diving into the he said, she said side of this, but if you want to know more about that, you'll find links to some useful resources in the show notes for this episode, including Kurt Elster's unofficial Shopify podcast, where he's got a whole episode talking about just that. All those links and to everything I'm talking about in this episode, you can find at ecommercemasterplan.com/divorce, because essentially they're getting divorced. Right, so what's actually happening once we get past the fact they're falling out? Well, from May the 12th, and possibly before, the Mailchimp integration app with Shopify will stop working. So all the flows of data you have set up between Mailchimp and Shopify, if they're going through the Mailchimp integration app, that's going to stop working. I say possibly before May the 12th because that's when the official legal agreement runs out between Shopify and Mailchimp, but there's a chance that Shopify might disable it before then. You never know. I think that's probably quite unlikely because it's in no one's interest really, but it could happen before then. So you've got until May the 12th. The data will keep flowing between your Mailchimp account and your Shopify account. But after that point, the data will stop flowing if you're using the Mailchimp integration app to do it. So if you're using something else to pass data between the two, I don't know, downloading a spreadsheet and re-uploading it, which is not a method I recommend at all. If you are using Zapier or Automate.io or another app to do it, then it's going to carry on working. The only change will be that if you're using the Mailchimp integration app, then that is what's going to stop working. So you can continue using Mailchimp and you continue using Shopify after May the 12th. But if you're using that Mailchimp integration app, the data's going to stop flowing after that point in time. Have I said that enough times yet? I hope I have. So what are your choices? Well, let's be thorough with this. Number 1, leave Shopify. I think that's probably a bad idea. Number 2, do nothing at all. That's a bad idea too, because after May the 13th, you're going to have no data being updated. Your lists will get stale and customers won't hear from you and all those kind of nasty things. So that's not an option. Option number 3, leave Mailchimp and go to another email marketing provider. That is quite possibly a good move, partly because you may find a much better platform to be on, and it's time to, take the next level with your marketing. But then the question here is, should you do that before May the 12th or should you do it later? Because is now the right time to make the email marketing provider move? Because it's a big old job. It may well be. Maybe this is the kick you need to take your marketing to the next level. And option number 4 is to find a way to make Mailchimp work for you in the new situation. So I mentioned a couple of seconds ago about Zapier, ShopSync and Automate.io. Those are 3 different ways that you can continue integrating Mailchimp and Shopify. This might be a short-term stopgap for you. Maybe you do want to leave Mailchimp, you want to move somewhere else, but you're snowed under with other things until August. So in August, you're going to make the change. Well, Zapier, ShopSync or Automate.io could be a good stopgap for you. So each of those enable you to pass data backwards and forwards between the two to enable you to keep your lists up to date and to keep doing the right marketing. Now, just to give you a quick bit of info on those. ShopSync is a Shopify plugin. It is free and it's the one that Mailchimp are recommending you move to. So they've got a great blog explaining how to make that migration. There's a link to that in the show notes for this episode at ecommercemasterplan.com/divorce. I feel like I should do like a Tammy Wynette DIVORCE every time I say that, but I'll resist going all country on you. Especially for our American listeners who'll be going, really? You sound so English, you cannot possibly go country on us. Okay. So that was ShopSync. Then we've got Zapier and Automate.io. Both of these are systems which enable you to easily pass information from one place to another. So they integrate with hundreds of different things. My personal favorite is Zapier. I use that for a lot of things. And that one, Zapier is going to cost you $20 per month to use to integrate Mailchimp and Shopify because Shopify is classed as a premium app. Automate.io, I believe, does something similar. I've never personally used it myself. And it is also classing Shopify as a premium app, which means you're going to need the $25 a month subscription. So if you're only using it for this, then Zapier would be the cheaper option. And it's really super simple to use. Really, if you're currently using Shopify and Mailchimp and you're using that Mailchimp integration app, your decisions are to find a way to make it work forever or as a stopgap or to leave. And then the leave question is, do you do it now or do you do it later? So those are your options, which I suppose the really good thing about that is that it means you don't have to suddenly go, I need to leave Mailchimp right now to carry on working with Shopify. You can carry on post May the 12th using Shopify and Mailchimp so long as you use one of those 3 alternatives I've just mentioned. And there may be other ones out there, but those would be the 3 obvious ones to go for. So long as you use one of those 3, Zapier, ShopSync, Automate.io, in order to transfer the data backwards and forwards, because that's one thing you don't want to do is do nothing and end up with your data just stagnating in each location, i.e. Shopify and Mailchimp. So those are kind of your choices. Oh, and links to Zapier, ShopSync, Automate.io, etc. are all in the show notes at ecommercemasterplan.com/divorce. So my advice as to what you should do, well, I think the first thing to consider is, what are you currently syncing between Mailchimp and Shopify? Then think about, is now a good time to switch email marketing provider? And then consider, is this an opportunity to improve your marketing? So let's tackle those kind of one by one. So what are you currently syncing between Mailchimp and Shopify? Now, if you're a business who just uses the link to get the email data into Mailchimp so you can send the same message to everybody each week. I know there's a lot of you out there who are doing that, and that you've got no automation set up. You're just sending out that broadcast each week. Maybe you're using a different app to do your abandoned basket emails. Then you're not syncing a lot of information between Mailchimp and Shopify. So to put in place one of those other methods of getting the data between, it's going to be quite straightforward for you. That might mean it's very easy for you. Now, if you're a business who have the full-on integration going of product selections and recommendations and automated emails and trigger this and trigger that and loads of complex stuff set up, your migration is going to take you quite a lot more effort. Good news is the tools I'm going to recommend moving to later on, each of them will offer you a different levels of help to do that, partly depending on how much you're spending, partly depending on how much help they offer. But it's not a difficult process. It's just a time-consuming process to make sure you've set up all those emails again and you've got all the flows going in the right place and to do all that testing again. Which is why the second part of my advice is now a good time to switch email marketing provider, because you need to do it right. You need to make sure there's no holes that you've skipped. And it's a time-consuming process because it's also one of those processes that you may want to go, actually, we set up all this automation. We've been setting up new automated sequences over the last 12 months, but we haven't ever done is go back and look at the results. We haven't kept optimizing. So this might be the time to do that. And if you're going to do that piece by piece, then that's going to make it a more time consuming process because you're optimizing at the same time. It's not just going to be a straightforward copy and paste. It's going to be here's what we did. The second email's underperforming. Let's recreate. Let's do something different in email number 2 of our welcome campaign, for example. So taking into account what you want to do as you switch email marketing provider is now a good time. If you sell swimwear, you're coming into your peak season. You know, this is a big time of year for you. So this is probably not a good time to go about switching email marketing provider. Now, if you're a gift seller who's all about Christmas, then actually right now probably is a good time to switch email marketing provider, because give it another 3 or 4 months, you're going to be too busy with Christmas to do it. So is this a good time for you? And not just about sales data. Maybe you've got a new marketing person coming on board in a month's time who's got a lot of experience with email marketing. Well, actually, it would make sense to be getting them involved in the choice of who to move to and getting it all set up. Have a really good think about, is now the right time to switch? And then consider, is this also an opportunity to improve your marketing? Not just to optimize what you've already got, but to take what you're currently doing with your marketing automation to another level. So it may be that you're one of those people I mentioned who just does the single send to everybody each week. Is it time for you to be embracing some automation and some segmentation activity? Maybe you're going to add a welcome campaign, split those who buy male products versus female products, do some reactivation campaigns, incorporate your abandoned baskets into that same email marketing platform. Is it time to do that? In which case, it's going to be really important to make sure you're on the right email marketing system to make that as easy as possible for you. And then the other part of improving your marketing is what we're seeing is that customers who are getting your marketing methods in multiple channels and getting the right messages in all those channels. So by channels, I mean email, Google, Facebook, SMS, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, whichever ones are relevant for you. If they're getting and interacting with you in multiple channels, they tend to be worth an awful lot more money to you. Potentially, if they're interacting in three channels and seeing your marketing message in 3 channels, they could be worth 90% more than someone who only sees it in 1. So is it time to get all those bits and pieces you're doing in different marketing channels into the one place, into that one automation platform, so as you can seamlessly integrate when the messages go out via each and make sure the right message is being given to the right person, because it's all controlled from that one hub. So that's the other thing to consider as you're deciding what your move is in this space at the moment. So what are you currently syncing between Mailchimp and Shopify? Is now the right time to make the switch to another email marketing provider? And thirdly, is this an opportunity to improve your marketing? When I surveyed you all earlier this year, one of the questions was, do you intend to change email marketing platform in the next 12 months? Now, 65% of you said you were considering changing email marketing platform in the next 12 months. So maybe this is now the time to make that happen. So those of you who are listening who aren't using Shopify and Mailchimp, but are in that boat, maybe now is the time to make that happen. So consider exactly those same things I've just run through if that's you. What I would also say as a bit of advice here is that Mailchimp is a great platform, but it's not an e-commerce specific platform. And there are some amazing platforms out there which do a phenomenal job of helping you accelerate your process through what can feel quite overwhelming at the beginning of the journey, the automation and the integrating more channels. So it's well worth going and having a look at those other options, even if you think you're currently happy with Mailchimp, because so much has evolved over the last couple of years. And if 65% of the e-commerce population are currently considering changing email marketing platform, the game is about to go up a level. People are about to start doing a lot more automation, which means you're going to have to start doing it too if you want to really keep that relationship with your customers. So right now, most of my time is tied up with getting the subscription e-commerce virtual summit ready and up and running. So I don't have a lot of bandwidth to help you guys one-on-one with these decisions at the moment. But I still want to help as many of you as possible. So after racking my brains, I thought of what to do about this. So I'm going to be holding a live Q&A call on the 29th of April. It's for the members of the Get More Customers Club. And in the Get More Customers Club are also a lot of useful resources which are really going to help you out with this decision-making process and with setting things up anew. So I've got videos in there about how to use Zapier and what to do, what bits to do to set up that Mailchimp integration. So that's there for you, ready to watch and use. I've got a longer explanation of how to select your email marketing software provider, which I can take you through the highlights of in a second. And there's multiple training videos in there about improving your email marketing and some of the other channels you might want to integrate with your automation in the future. Now, if you're not currently a member of the Get More Customers Club and you want in, it's usually £49 plus VAT per month. That's about $65 for those of you out there in the USA. But if you sign up before May the 12th, which is the day when the Mailchimp and Shopify integration ends, if you sign up before May the 12th, you can get your first month for just a tenner, just £10. Can't say better than that, can you? Sign up before the 29th of April and you'll get in for the Q&A call and you'll get that discount too and access to all those videos I just mentioned. So to get that offer, go to ecommercemasterplan.com/divorce and click on the link to the Get More Customers Club for a tenner. And that will automatically apply the discount and then you can quite quickly get signed up and get immediate access to those resources and to sign up for the Q&A call. If you're already in the Get More Customers Club, don't worry about it, you're already in. Okay, so how to pick a new email marketing system, because quite frankly, the decision of what to do about the Mailchimp Shopify integration is a lot easier than the decision of how to choose where to go next for your email marketing system, because there are many great systems out there and it's about finding the one that's right for your business, because that may well be different from other people's. So you have to do a bit of work, a bit of legwork for this. As I said, there's a whole video about this in the Get More Customers Club, but I'm going to give you the highlights here. So first off, you need to work out what you need. What are you currently using with your email marketing platform? What automations do you have to set up? What types of things are you putting out in your emails? Then what do you want to use in the future? So that improvement side of things, what other channels might you want to be using? What other automations do you want to make possible because you believe they will increase your sales? And then what integrations do you need? So obviously Shopify is probably going to be one if you're a Shopify merchant. But then there may be other integrations that you want to other marketing channels or other services that you want to bring in to help enhance the content and the segmentation of your email marketing. So once you've worked all of that out, then you can create a shortlist. Have a look at the websites of the different email marketing service providers and work out which ones it looks like can do what you want and fit into the price level you want, because pretty much all of them have pricing right there on the website. Then create a shortlist from that research, and of that shortlist, but you're probably maybe only going to have 2 or 3 on there. Have a demo or a free trial of each. So either you're going to jump on a call with one of their team who's going to show you how it works and answer your questions, or you can usually sign up for a free trial so you can have a poke around and see if it's going to work for you. When you're doing that, make sure everyone in your team who's going to be using it has a go, because that's you really don't want to commit to a piece of software and then the person who's using it all the time hates it. So do they like it too? Does it work for you? Is it going to be able to do everything you want it to do? Then Work out how you're going to do the migration. Getting your data from your old system to your new system. How are you going to go about doing that? Do you want to do a cleanup at the same time? All that unsubscribed data, are you going to add it in? Or are you going to just leave it behind? What integrations do you need to get set up, and how are you going to go about doing them? Are they quick and easy, or are they a bit more difficult? And when do they need to be set up? And then where fits well in your marketing plan to make that change? So all that needs to be kind of scheduled into your to-do list and worked out on the calendar. As I said, I've got a video explaining all of that in more detail in the Get More Customers Club. I also right now have a couple of recommended platforms for you. So if you are looking at this whole situation going, yes, I definitely need to leave Mailchimp, I've got 3 options for you. Obviously, there's more out there, but these are certainly where I would start my list. So first off, if you're more of an enterprise business or a bigger business, you would do well to check out the .digital platform. It's a really impressive marketing automation platform, and they're an amazing company, amazing team. I do quite a lot of work with them, and they really do care about their customers. That is, if you're wondering who .digital are, they were formerly called .mailer. So links to that in the show notes at ecommercemasterplan.com/divorce. Now, I know the great majority of you listening aren't in the enterprise bracket. So for you guys, and actually, to be fair, these next 2 tools will work just as well for an enterprise business. Omnisend. Now, Omnisend are omni-channel focused. So if you really want to get other marketing channels into the mix, so you want your browser push notifications, your SMS, your Facebook Messenger and all the rest of it, then Omnisend is probably going to be the one for you. I had the name may be familiar because they sponsored our January growth series this year, and I had Ritis, who's their CEO, talking in January on the podcast about the big rebranding process they've been through. They're also currently running a special offer for Shopify merchants who are migrating from Mailchimp, which is going to give you 50% off for your first 3 months. That's half price for 3 months. And then 20% off for the next 9 months. That's a whole 12 months of discount if you are a Shopify merchant migrating over to them from Mailchimp. There is, and they're also the email marketing platform I use because of that ability to pull all those different channels in. Now, a link to where that discount is and their information about people who are migrating over from Mailchimp is in the show notes, ecommercemasterplan.com/divorce. Okay, and then Klaviyo, of course, I have to mention Klaviyo, often mentioned on the podcast. Klaviyo is very much an email-focused platform. But just like Omnisend, huge amounts of what they do is, you want to do abandoned baskets, click. Oh, look, there's pretty much an entire abandoned baskets campaign just for you to fill in the gaps on. So it's another very quick system to get things up and running, and has a nice deep integration with Shopify too. So links to all of those are on the show notes, which I'll just give you again, which is ecommercemasterplan.com/divorce.
E-commerce Master Plan is supported by some of the greatest companies in the e-commerce sector. Here's a reminder of who they are.
Don't waste any more time waiting in line to send mail and packages. With SendPro Online from Pitney Bowes, you can send packages and mail without leaving your office for as low as $4.99 per month. And because you're an e-commerce master plan listener, you'll receive a free 30-day trial to get started, plus a free £10 scale shipped right to your door to help you accurately weigh your packages. Save time and money no matter what you send with this new offer for SendPro Online. Starting at only $4.99 per month, you can print shipping labels and stamps from your own printer, easily compare rates using the online software, gain access to special USPS savings for letters and priority mail shipping, plus track all of your shipments and get email notifications when they have arrived. Go to pb.com/masterplan to access this special offer. Get a free 30-day trial and a free £10 scale to get started. That's pb.com/masterplan. Experience the better way to ship with a free trial of SendPro Online from Pitney Bowes. Get life-changing business-building tips from people like John Mackey, co-founder of Whole Foods, Sarah Blakely, CEO and founder of Spanx, Robert Kiyosaki, best-selling author of the Rich Dad series, Dave Asprey, founder of Bulletproof Coffee, and many others. Learn, meet and mingle with 6, 7 and 8-figure Amazon sellers who will teach you current strategies working on Amazon now. Get your ticket to SellerCon from June 21st to 23rd in Las Vegas, Nevada. Visit Sellercon.com and use coupon code MASTERPLAN to get an immediate 25% discount on your ticket. Right, so I promised you some automation tips. So rather than doing a top tips round, we're going to get Chloe's automation tips. So these are some of the recent things I've heard about, some things I consistently see working for people. So if you, as I was going through this earlier, going, right, yeah, I'd love to improve, but I have no idea how to start, this is the bit for you. So first thing, add audience integrations. So this is, let me explain what it is and I'll tell you about why it's so important. This is when you integrate the database of your email marketing system with your Facebook audiences or your Google ad audiences, which means you can put the same message on the ad platform as you're giving people in their emails. So the easiest one to explain it is if you're talking about a welcome email, someone's just signed up to your emails, and in that welcome email, you're giving them a 10% discount code. You can also put that same 10% discount offer in front of them on Facebook and Google in all your ads. So it enables you to make sure people are getting the right messages across the right platforms, and it saves an awful lot of exporting and importing of CSV files as well. So automatic segmentation updates going across your different primary platforms there, which I think is just such a no-brainer and such an important thing to do to automate your ads as well as automate your email marketing. Next automation tip would be to use multiple channels. As I mentioned earlier, if you've got customers who are hearing from you in 3+ channels, they tend to be worth 90% more to you than someone who only hears from you in one channel. So you want to make sure you've got that multiple channel activity going on. So you have, but what you want to avoid is that you're just bombarding them with different messages in every channel. You want to keep some consistency going across there. So again, like my welcome campaign with the ads piece, if you also within your welcome campaign automation have the fact that they're going to get browser push notifications if they're signed up in that channel too, or SMS messages maybe, then that, as long as you've got the data, that could be hugely powerful. Third automation tip, I mentioned SMS, didn't I? This can be such a powerful channel. It needs to be used in the right ways, more about service and assistance than it is necessarily about marketing. Although, of course, service and assistance is an important part of marketing. So less these shoes have just gone on offer, more it's time to rebuy this, it's time to replenish. Those kind of helpful messages you expect to get from SMS. Think about the kind of things you get from the delivery guys and work out how you can integrate that into what you're doing. So SMS is a channel I think a lot more businesses should be testing at the moment. I was chatting to Ritas of Omnisend this week, in fact, and I said to him, okay, so all these different channels, we're all using email, which one should we use next? And he, without blinking, he went, SMS. Everyone should be using SMS. Okay, tip number 4, abandon basket. Please set up an abandoned basket email if you haven't yet done it yet. It amazes me how many businesses haven't yet done this. And often the reason is because they don't have systems that integrate properly with each other. So if you don't currently have an email marketing system that integrates with your Shopify store, your WooCommerce store, your Magento store, then you are missing a massive opportunity and you need to get that solved. All the 3 email marketing platforms I mentioned earlier integrate with all 3 of those systems, which gives you no excuse anymore for not having a good quality abandoned basket email. And by good quality, I mean it comes out, gets sent to the person quickly, and it features what was actually in their basket. Where are we up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th automation tip for you now then. Existing customers abandoned browse. Now, I hear a lot about abandoned browse automation triggers for email marketing, but I thought you all knew about it, but I was at an event yesterday and asked people to do a hands up, and less than 10% of the audience put their hands up that they knew what abandoned browse was. So abandoned browse is when someone whose data you have comes onto your website, looks at a few things and disappears. With the systems I've already mentioned today, so Klaviyo, Omnisend, Digital, with all 3 of those, you can track that. And when it happens, send someone an email featuring the products or the category they were looking at to encourage them to come back and buy, just like you would do with an abandoned basket. Really simple and easy to set up. It's highly personalized, highly segmented. And I would suggest if you haven't yet done it, you start it with the people who've bought from you as the segment you target it at. Okay, welcome campaign is my last automation tips. If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you'll know I'm a big fan of the welcome campaign. Why? Because reactivation, retention even of customers starts from the very first interaction you have with them. It starts well before you get involved with the welcome campaign. So the welcome campaign needs to accelerate that process of the customer getting to understand you, give them a really good impact of your business, to understand who you are, why they should want to work with you, why they should want to buy from you, because that's going to create them a better customer. Because the customers who have the greatest emotional connection with your business are the ones who are going to buy more, spend more, transact via more channels, and, quite frankly, keep you in business. If you're not sure where to start with the welcome campaign, we've got a couple of my favorite examples in that Get More Customers Club as well. So you can go and check those out. So I hope those automation tips have given you some ideas of where to get started. I hope everything I've run through today has helped make the Mailchimp Shopify divorce scenario seem less scary, seem less of a worry, and helped you work out what you should be doing. So fundamentally, if you are currently using Shopify and Mailchimp, either you are going to be changing over to one of those alternative integration methods. So that was Zapier, Automate.io, or ShopSync. You're either going to be putting one of those in place in the next couple of weeks, so you're ready for May the 12th when the existing integration falls apart. And then you're going to work out when you're going to move to a platform that's going to enable you to take your marketing to a next level, enable you to do all those automation actions I just mentioned. The other option is that you're going to make that move to the new platform right now. I suppose the crazy thing here is that if you're currently not doing very much with your Mailchimp Shopify integration, then moving is a lot easier because you've got a lot less to move. But of course, you've then still got everything to build afterwards. Whereas if you're already doing everything, you're going to be a lot more affected by the fact the integration ends. But moving is that bit more difficult. So it's a bit of a crazy one there. But I'm sure you're all going to find your way through it. Now, to help you work your way through it, if you want my help, then you need to get on my live Q&A call. It's on the 29th of April and it's only open to Get More Customers Club members. And right now, until May the 12th, you can get your first month for just £10 plus VAT. So to get access to that Q&A call and all the training content in the Get More Customers Club is only going to cost you £10 plus VAT. We've also got a 30-day money-back guarantee on that. So if you don't like it, we'll refund it, no questions asked. And you're welcome to cancel within the first month, and then you won't get charged for month 2 of £49 when it goes back up to the normal price. But if you want my help, you need to be on that live Q&A call where I will answer all your questions about this Mailchimp Shopify falling out and about the options of what you should do, where you should go next, and so forth. So you can get all of that for just £10 plus VAT. Plus, as part of your membership, you'll also get a whole host of training content, including how to use Zapier to do what the Mailchimp integration did, longer explanation of how to select your email marketing software provider, and multiple training videos on improving your email marketing and other channels you may want to integrate in the future. Just go to ecommercemasterplan.com/divorce and click on the link to the Get More Customers Club for a tenner. And at that URL, you will also find the links to everything I've recommended in today's episode. I hope you have a great week. I hope this situation isn't causing you too much stress, because I really do think it's not a big, complicated one to solve. There's just a few steps to get through. And don't forget, whatever you do, whether you're moving, whether you're not moving, or whether you're completely unaffected by this falling out between Shopify and Mailchimp, keep optimizing.
Thank you for listening to the E-commerce Master Plan podcast. Find out more at ecommercemasterplan.com/podcast.